greatest, actually the top super nuclear power on Earth. It actually surpassed it the first week of the Shemitah. The second week of the Shemitah came something even more major, and that is that the American age that began in the year 1871, when we became the strongest economic power on Earth, came to an end. America was dethroned as the Shemitah began. It is now China has taken the crown of America. Now I've warned since the Harbinger came out, I've warned that if we don't turn back to God, there is going to be the crown that America has worn as the head of nations going to be removed. We are seeing the beginning of that right now. And so we are watching actually when the same week that the Shemitah began, Wall Street went crazy for about a month. Now, the pattern of the last Shemitahs have been that often at the beginning of the Shemitah, you don't notice anything, but there are often foreshadows. Well, the major thing, if something's going to happen, the major period is going to be coming up is always at the end of the Shemitah as we approach September. That's the time of that wipeout. I'm not saying it has to happen, but I believe we need to be aware of it. And interesting, people who look at signs, one of the signs in the Bible of judgment is the darkening of the sun or an eclipse. Not that it always is, but it can be. On the day that we get to the wipeout day, Elul 29 of this Shemitah cycle, the sun's going to be darkened at that time. The last time that happened was 1987, when the sun was darkened at Elul 29. It led into Black Monday, the worst day crash in world history. I believe we are going to watch, if we don't turn back, if this nation keeps on going on its course, we're going to watch the fall of America or the shaking of America. And the American age that you and I and all our listeners have known since we were born is going to come to an end. And the Shemitah is very exact, very precise. And I believe this is a real warning that we need to be ready.
Right. And I know a lot of our audience was pretty interested in the fact that there was this phenomenon. It's not super rare, but with all of the blood moons and the solar eclipses and everything, and they were coinciding with Jewish holidays. And so is that something that's very significant for you as well?
Yeah, well, interesting. I mean, and I know Mark Biltz, who is the one who came up with the blood moon theory. Well, not that we want to be dogmatic again that it has to, but I believe it's significant to watch for. For instance, the majority of the blood moon period is the year of the Shemitah. That's the majority of it. And when it comes to a head, guess when it comes to a head? It's September 2015, which is that same key period of the Shemitah. But the other thing is, one of the things that people don't realize when they look at end time prophecy is one of the most amazing things about end time prophecy has to do with the Shemitah. One of the things I put at the end of the book, it's called the mystery of the seventh Shemitah, and that's this. When you get to every seventh Shemitah, or that's 7 times 7, that's 49 years, it ushers in a super Shemitah that we know it's called the Jubilee. And the Jubilee, when that happens, everybody is restored to their land. If you lost your land, you lost your inheritance, you lost your ancestral home, on the Jubilee, you return to your home and you get that home back. Well, one of the things about end time prophecy, as we're speaking about that, is that we know that end time prophecy says that Israel has to be restored to the land and to Jerusalem, which it lost in 2,000 years ago. That has to happen. Well, could this mystery of the seventh Shemitah actually give us the exact times when these prophetic events have to happen? And I'll give you just a taste of it. Here it is. The Shemitah, or the seventh Shemitah, or the Jubilee, this restoration period, has to happen the year after a Shemitah, because it's the 50th year, and the 49th year, or the 7th Shemitah, that's a Shemitah. So here's the thing. If you look at the year 1917, you have the year of the Shemitah. At the end of it would be this prophetic period that begins September 1917 to September 1918. Did anything significant happen with prophecy or restoration? Well, here's the amazing thing. In that exact period, Britain is winning the First World War. The Ottoman Empire crashes. The land of Israel goes to Britain. Britain issues the Balfour Declaration, gives the land back to the Jewish people in the restoration, the Jubilee coming back to the land in the exact time period. And if you count 7 Shemitahs later to the next 7th Shemitah, it gives you the period that is 1966 September to 1967 September. Right in the middle of that comes the next prophetic restoration, the 6-Day War, when Israel regains Jerusalem. Well, here's the thing. I'm not being dogmatic. I'm not saying it has to be. But if we follow this one more time, where does it take us? It takes us to the Shemitah that we're in right now. That's the 7th Shemitah. And the period of prophetic restoration would be September 2015 to September 2016. Now, again, not being dogmatic, But if it follows the pattern of what happened before, it would mean war, war in the Middle East, and a war resulting in the next piece or puzzle piece of prophecy. So this is so big. I mean, we're talking about from our pocketbooks, our bank accounts, to America, to prophecy, to the end time. So it's very specific. It's very exact.
Yeah, and we're definitely seeing that happening. A lot of downplay here. We've got major military exercise going on across America, people prepping. We see the elite are kind of building up bases and bunkers in New Zealand and countries far away, a lot of civil unrest. So we're sort of seeing the signs, but we're also seeing the signs in the heavens as well. Now, what do you suggest people do? Is there something that people should do to prepare for this? I mean, we're seeing the writing on the wall.
Yeah, that's a great question. I'll give a few quick things. One is, I mean, I'm not a financial analyst, but I would say this. Personally, I would not feel safe putting my investment in the stock market at this time, number one. I believe that safety is wise. I believe it's also wise to have a store of essentials. If, for instance, if things broke down, if services broke down, that you'd be okay. I think that's wise anyway. Beyond that, and I'm going to give you really the highest answer is this. When people say, I want safety, what should I do? Should I build a bunker? Well, in Hebrew, the word for safety is Yeshua, and Yeshua is Jesus. So the ultimate thing is this. Listen, no matter if you are outside of him, and I'm telling you, I'm Jewish, and I'm telling you that if you're outside of Jesus, there's no safety. The only safety is inside him. And if you're in him and your life is not right in God's will, get it right. Get right today. You don't know how long you have. And what I'm saying here is the time is late. We are witnessing things that we have never witnessed in American history. We're witnessing an apostasy. We're witnessing a moral decay that the Bible gives very clear answers of what happens when a nation goes this way. We're witnessing America and Israel, at its worst relationship. We're witnessing all these things happening fast. The time is late. So what I would say is there are many wise things to do, but the most important thing is get right with God, and you don't have to worry, you don't have to fear, because you are in safety, which again in Hebrew is Yeshua, and that's Jesus.
Wow. Well, Jonathan, where can everyone get your book and stay in touch with you?
Yeah, thank you, Leanne. The Mystery of the Shemitah is available everywhere, online, offline, from Amazon to Walmart, everywhere. The Harbinger is also available everywhere you look, online or offline. To get in touch, if people want more, or to get in touch, and this all comes from a lot of other things, so we give out free resources all the time. Just remember, Hope of the World is the ministry. It's hopeoftheworld.org, and we'll be glad to help you with anything.
Well, thank you so much. All very interesting, very thorough book there. The Harbinger and the Mystery of the Shemitah go hand in hand, so be sure to check that out. Thank you so much, Jonathan.
Thank you, Leanne.
That's it for the show tonight. If you're watching us on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. And you can also become a subscriber to prisonplanet.tv, where you'll find all of our reports, the nightly news, our movies, rants, and really about 18 years worth of content. And you can share your username and password with up to 20 people at the same time. And of course, your subscription will help out the InfoWars operation. Thank you so much for tuning into the show tonight. We'll see you here Monday, 7 p.m. Central.
From the water table to our soils to the atmosphere itself, our world is becoming more and more toxic each and every day. But it's not just the air outside that's toxic. Indoor air has been shown to have 2 to 5 times higher concentrations of pollutants than even outdoor air. And most Americans spend 90% of their time inside using toxic chemicals within their homes. There are more than 42 million smokers in the United States. Well over 1,000 types of mold and mildew linked to numerous conditions. And don't forget the fact that 6 million Americans live with pets they're allergic to as well. When I began to research these statistics, it was clear to me it was time to start cleansing my lungs in order to combat the toxic environment that we cannot escape, but that we can fight back against. Made with organic and wild cultivated herbs and manufactured in the USA, the new InfoWars Life Lung Cleanse is here in a convenient spray bottle that can be brought with you throughout any toxic environment. Now available exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139.
I'm Staff Sergeant Joe Biggs, U.S. Army retired veteran of both Iraq and Afghanistan. Now I'm here today to dismantle the lies, propaganda, and just blatant BS put out by the mainstream media, the Pentagon. All these different sources are just clearly lying about this Operation Jade Helm 1-5. Now, first off, I want to talk about the Army Times. Now, in the Army Times, it says that Joe Biggs is cited as a veteran of Afghanistan and Iraq and said that exercises would prepare troops to throw citizens in FEMA camps. I'm cited as a U.S. Army veteran. Hello, you guys have written about me before. You can actually go Google my name with Army Times and pull up an article that you yourself did. Hello, you might want to go fact check yourself before you wreck yourself. You guys are supposed to have our backs. I'm a veteran. I actually have a Purple Heart. Do you know what that is? You obviously don't know what a veteran is. This is a Purple Heart. So now we're going to talk about the BizPac Review article. It says that we call this basically a secret document that proved to be bogus, but it hasn't slowed down the storm of conspiracies. Well, if you go back to March 23rd of last week, there's a video where I bring this Jade Helm 1-5 document to Alex. We sit down here at the news desk and we discuss what's going on. And in the video, you can clearly see that it says unclassified. Not once have we said secret document in any video. It's not secret. It's been hiding in plain sight for anyone to find, except most people don't know what to look for. And if they did see something like that, they wouldn't know what they were looking at.
We get sent by one of our sources, I'll leave it at that, hey, this is hidden behind a firewall, but it's unclassified. They're supposed to be releasing this. A little bird just put it on Scripps, the big document site. So that's a trick. When something's supposed to be declassified, they'll still hide it. So now for 4 or 5 days, they've had the different publications, Stars and Stripes, military.com, and others going, we don't know if the document's real, but these conspiracy theorists, claim that we want to take over Texas and Utah this summer and martial law. We're not going to have martial law this summer.
You notice how they don't deny the operation, though, whatsoever? They just keep trying to, move the attention away from the fact that that's going on and just keep throwing out the conspiracy term and keep attacking us, so it takes people's attention off of the fact that there is a mission going to happen, just like it says in the documents. They're not denying it.
And then you got contacted by one of your friends that you served with, saying, shut up, it's a psyop, get you none of your business.
Yeah. And that's the reason why it's getting this kind of coverage, because there is underlined hidden messages in this document. The Pentagon keeps attacking us, coming after us, claiming that we said this is secret. So now we're going to take a look at Fox News. And in their article, it says Pentagon and local law enforcement are trying to knock down the rumors and let everyone know that the feds have no plan to take over Texas. Well, last night on the Kelly File, Megyn Kelly was talking to a reporter out of L.A., Chase Gallagher.
While the military says it's just training soldiers for the realities of war, critics say the Army is preparing for modern-day martial law. Trace Gallagher live in our West Coast newsroom with the story. Trace?
And they joke back and forth and banter. They would not once mention the fact that Alex Jones or myself or INFOWARS broke this story, brought it to the attention of the American people. All they did was just call us some conspiracy group out of Austin, Texas, or something like that. This is out of control. They are blatantly lying, saying that we said it was a secret document when we never said that whatsoever.
Well, that hostile characterization didn't sit well with a far-right radio host in Austin who told his listeners that he had access to the secret document that details a federal takeover in Texas. A libertarian website also picked up on the plan, and before you know it, rallies were being held against the event. But apparently the so-called secret document was published weeks ago in several local newspapers, letting the public know the training was in the works. Still, the Pentagon and local law enforcement are trying to knock down the rumors, trying to let everyone know that the feds have no plans to grab the Lone Star State. Apparently this kind of stuff just doesn't play very well in Texas.
Now, there were few linked to our videos. Last night, Alex Jones actually did a video which outlines with proof what is happening, the plan to condition the American public into accepting this military presence on the streets. Now we're going to look at an article from the Dallas Morning News. It says the U.S. Army Special Operations Command has an upcoming training exercise so covert, there was a press release about it 2 days ago. Well, first of all, this goes back to the whole thing saying that we said it was secret. We never said it was secret. We showed you the document where it says unclassified. This is where it actually gets interesting. Now, it says, despite assurances that the training is to prepare troops for overseas missions, Army documents in the past have made clear that plans for martial law are in place for within the continental United States. Now, a leaked 2012 U.S. Army Military Police Training Manual entitled Civil Disturbance